Welcome back to CVTV. I'm Mike Brand. In our last segment, we examined some of the challenges facing our workforce, especially industries that are looking to expand or looking for specific skills. To continue our discussion, we welcome two new perspectives. Joining us now are Joe Witt, Executive Vice President for Corporate Banking and Human Resources at Old Point National Bank, and Dr. Deborah George Wright, Vice President for Workforce Development at Thomas Nelson Community College. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we were talking really before we started filming, it was really that there's a group called the Boomer Project, and they're out of Richmond. They're giving us a host of great information which we can learn and understand about the difference in the different demographics. One that was really coming to light was that both the folks that are thinking about retiring, they want to work when they want to work, where they want to work. They don't want to retire the same old way that maybe stereotypically they did. And yet we're also seeing the younger generations, they want to work when they want to work, where they want to work. They're using technology and other things to leverage so that they can say that they could accomplish a job maybe from 10 o'clock at night to 2 o'clock in the morning. There's all different kind of things that's different for the different generations. How are you guys looking at the skills needed to maybe re-engineer a career or to expand a career so that both of those things can be accomplished, to have a more balanced life, but also to maybe extend or to use the full capabilities that they have? Let's start with you.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. Good question. At the community college, we're frequently working with business and industry to develop new ways to attract the workers to come back to school while they're working, or if they lose their employment, to learn about the new workplace and the skills they need to continually re-engineer themselves. Because probably when they started their last job, they did not need to know teamwork or how to integrate technology with the job or how to work with different cultures.
Right.
Or work with different generations.
Right.
And those are skills that employers need the workers they hire now to have. So what we're trying to do is create learning experiences where they can learn the diversity of the job, of the generations in teams that are working together in a learning situation, a learning environment.
And you were highlighting earlier that there's a significant number of people that are coming back to the community college system that already have degrees.
That's true, and that's a nationwide phenomenon. I just read a report recently that 1/4 of the people enrolled in community colleges today are the traditional generation up to 24, that 3/4 of them are 24 to 55.
Wow.
And that really says something about the need to continually re-engineer yourself.
And Joe, in your past, you've actually taken advantage of some of that, and you're seeing that there's opportunities for Old Point now to really try to leverage some of the skills and training that they've talked about past. How are you guys looking at this from a re-engineering or other type of perspectives in your work?
Well, thank you, Mike. Yes, we are looking at that, and we are actually in the process of creating Old Point University, which will actually do training and career pathing for both new workers coming in as well as workers who are older who are looking for new opportunities within the organization. Jobs will become obsolete, but we don't want workers to become obsolete.
Right.
We want our employees to continue to have a viable career for as long as they want to be with the bank. With a former employer that I was with, we actually partnered with Thomas Nelson Community College to create certificate programs where we retrained employees and by sending them to Thomas Nelson Community College, and they earned blocks of certificates. And by the time they were done with their 4 certificates, they had almost earned their associate's degree.
That's awesome.
We want to take that same type of concept to the bank, where we can create certificate programs within the bank, both taught internally and some externally, with partners like Thomas Nelson Community College. And in doing so, we can set a career path for individuals. I think with the younger generation, they're looking for what their next opportunity is going to be. Right. And we want to show them there is a career path. It's not going to happen right away. And there's a self-responsibility of education that will be required for them to get there. For the older worker, we want them to be able to feel comfortable in learning new skills and having opportunities to have skills. There is one other aspect to this too, is the mentoring aspect.
Yeah.
And what we want to do as part of this program is have a formalized mentoring program where we can have older workers mentor younger workers. This is important for not only the transfer of knowledge, but also the transfer of our culture, to maintain that culture that we've worked so hard over the years to build.
Yeah, and that's a great culture that you guys have created there. been such a key part of our communities. And as you all are having maybe the opportunity, or is it a part of your all's design that you're looking at these best practices that maybe are being developed, or have you guys found a way that you're going to be able to help recommend to organizations, in our world here, about how best to mentor or how to pass a legacy? What are those key things that for someone like myself as maybe a later in life executive, what are those things that you'd recommend for me to say, gosh, think about this?
That's a challenging question because each company has a different company culture.
Right.
And one important part of that is new employees learning that company culture. So mentoring by existing employees becomes a critical part of it. For the community college, that means that when we put together a new curriculum with a company, incorporating the company culture into that curriculum, whether it's pre-hire, they come to the college first and then get employed, post-hire, they come to the college after they're employed, or co-hire, as we have with Canon right now. Thomas Nelson has a partnership. We recruit students in. The minute they become full-time employees of Canon, they become full-time students of the college.
Wow.
And we deliver that customized training at a Canon facility with Thomas Nelson instructors. So part of this, we have in it the mentoring program as part of the culture, working with the company, where individuals, the new hires, are taught the company culture.
Okay.
But mentoring goes both ways.
Right.
We always think of the current employee who has been with the company a period of time mentoring the new employee.
Right.
But the companies that are being successful now with multiple generations are also using their new employees to mentor the older employees on the new needs that workers have,
right,
and how to create the best work environment to retain workers.
And are you guys using technology right now to help leverage the accessibility of those programs, whether it be, I don't know if you all do any type of learning that's, whether, I know it's probably CBT, like computer-based, but do you do distance learning, or are you guys with your banking that people are requiring 24 hours a day service, are you all taking some of those technologies to allow people to learn when and where?
We are not only have the traditional classroom learning, but we also have a lot of computer-based training where our employees actually get online and go through a series of courses online.
They can do that from home, or
they can do that from home. And a matter of fact, we just approved 2 people to start an MBA program. That's actually a distance MBA program, where during the summer they will be in residence, but during the year they're actually taking their computer-based training or computer-based courses online with the school that's not local. I'm sorry about that, Deborah, but you don't offer MBA.
The knowledge experts where they are.
So we're very open to that. The other thing that we're doing is we are expanding our social media within the organization.
Okay.
And that social media is beginning to allow the employees throughout the region to communicate more with one another and to create those relationships, because we think we're a relationship business, and those relationships internally are just as important as the ones externally.
Well, that's neat. Well, there's so many things which we can learn, and I'm sorry our time is kind of short, but the whole idea of all the generations leveraging the tools that are out there, and that's one of the things that, like on our website, I think after the show, we're going to try to see if there's some best practices, or how to best use some of the social media and others. But I just want to thank you guys today, because you're such pillars in our community, both your organizations, and thank you for the insights you've been able to share, and that perhaps we can have you guys back or in another format to further expound upon this. But thank you again for your leadership. Have a great day. I'm back with the final thought on the subject, but first, more insights from Cox Business Executive Discussion Series. Stay with us.
How do you get ideas from the lowest levels up to the top levels, and from the top levels back to the lowest levels effectively, so that everyone feels like they're participating in some way? And it's a huge challenge, because it's not something that 20 years ago we were used to doing, but it creates a synergy and an improved value proposition for the company that's immense. It goes along with the teaming and other things that we've been talking about.
We only have $1 to spend, and we're in workforce development. Who we're going to spend that dollar on? And we got to spend that dollar on the kid or the adult who has the right attitude and the right approach day one, because otherwise we're going back doing remedial work with a dollar and we're never going to see the return on it. So we got to start off not so much focusing on the soft skills, but really start taking people in who already have that right attitude and the soft skills and getting them trained to the next level so they can be successful. And that's what we have to do.
To find out how you can join the next executive discussion series and see clips from past CBTV shows, go online to the Small Business Navigation Program presented by Cox Business, providing your business with the tools to succeed.